Hello, I am Philippa, and this is day 9 of 365 of the annual year-long reading plan to complete reading the Bible. And so for day 9, we start on this section here. Let's find it right here. So we have Abraham's servant swears an oath, and we go on to Abraham basically saying that he is aging and he's asking his servant to go and get a wife for his son Isaac. And so here he says, said unto his oldest servant of his house that ruled over all that he had, put I pray thee thy hand under my thigh, that thou shalt not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites among whom I dwell, but thou shalt go unto my country and to my kindred and take a wife unto my son Isaac. And then the servant journeys, and because of Abraham's faith in God, he also carries that faith through, and he makes a comment or a wish in his heart, and he says that the woman that is meant to be Isaac's wife will be a lady or a woman who will offer this servant drink for him and for his camels. So she'll offer water after their treacherous journey. And that individual ends up being Rebecca, and she does end up offering water. The servant goes with her to her house, says basically, I'm the servant of Abraham. I've been told to go fetch a wife for his son Isaac. Will you let me have her? And they say yes. And they ask Rebecca, the woman, and she says she will go. And so then Isaac and Rebecca meet. And this is also really interesting. In verse 63, it says, and Isaac went out to meditate. So that's interesting. So Isaac and Rebecca meet, and then here Abraham takes another wife because Sarah, his original wife, had passed. She has some sons, and then we skip on to Rebecca, who is Isaac's wife. She gives birth to twins, Esau and Jacob. And Esau is like the firstborn, and so he has a birthright. And we go on to chapter 27, where Isaac essentially wants to give Esau his blessing, and he sends him to get some meat before he dies. But Rebecca, Isaac's wife, she favors the other twin more, Jacob. And so she tells Jacob, she says, go and fetch some goats, and I will make this meat that Isaac is wanting, and you can go and deceive him, and he will give you his blessing. So basically, Isaac sends his firstborn twin to his son to get him some meat so he can bless him. After he brings it to him, Isaac's wife, Rebecca, prefers their other twin child, Jacob, and so she tells him, go and get some meat, and not venison, but goats, and basically trick your dad and get his blessing. And Jacob's kind of not into it, but his mom says, Rebecca says, like, I'll be cursed, not you, so you just go. And anyways, he ends up tricking Isaac, and Isaac ends up giving him his blessing and blesses him with everything. It says in verse 29, let people serve thee, and nations bow down to thee. Be Lord over thy brethren, and let thy mother's sons bow down to thee. Cursed be everyone that curseth thee, and blessed be he that blesses thee. And then the son, the firstborn twin, Esau, who Isaac had sent to go get the meat, comes back with the meat, with the venison, and finds out he's been deceived and tricked, and that his brother actually took the blessing. And so Isaac says that he already gave Jacob the blessing, and so he really can't do much for him, but he says, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above, and by thy sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother. And it shall come to pass, when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. So essentially, you'll have an opportunity to kill him. And it says here, Esau threatens to kill Jacob. And so in order to protect him, their mom, Rebecca, basically says to Isaac, hey, I think Jacob should go get married, and she manages to send him off. So he went to Padan Aram, and so I'm not sure where this is going to end up, but this is where we've stopped. Esau threatens to kill Jacob, and Jacob is off to find a wife, and he is escaping his brother's wrath for the time being. Tomorrow is day 10 of 365 days, and I will be back. Bye.